Yo, yo, yo. Rick, what's up, dude? What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Another fantastic day. How you guys doing? What the heck? I got cable tangle. What's going on, guys? Good morning. It's good to see you. Great to be here. Day 35 of Witcher. I think we're gonna be finishing main game today. Base game. Finishing base game. Moving on into our DLC. Yeah. Heart of Stone first, I think. Uh, and then just keep pressing, yeah? Keep pressing. And we're only like 190 hours in, I think, something like that. No big deal. But trying to get all the quests done. That's the play. Trying to get every single quest done that we come across. So, yeah, we knew it was going to take a while, but it feels good. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's it. Let's get into this video gaming news segment. What do you guys say? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get in here. Yeah, ooh. That's good. Cool. See what we got. We've talked about a good amount of the Lord of the Rings universe, things that are happening right now. The more notable things. I'm not gonna pull up this article. The more notable things that are going on right now, right?
No, 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 no.
Oh, dude. Some of these sound effects are being becoming synonymous with certain people, and I find that very funny. Certain community members,
You tried it.
What's up, Size? Yo, gamer, what's up, my friend? How are you, buddy? Size, what's up, man? Wick, what's going on? So Lord of the Rings, we've got the new series starting on Amazon at the beginning of September. Gollum was supposed to be releasing at the same time. It got delayed a little bit, but hopefully it won't be delayed too long. Back is in pain? Oh, that sucks, dude. Is there like did you have like a notable injury or something? What happened, man? That's terrible. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. Um then we've got a new Lord of the Rings universe game in the works from the developer that brought us Hades, right? Um, Pirate what? Supergiant. Thought it was there was somebody else that was involved in this called Pirate something. Maybe I'm tripping. Um, but they're working on it too. PogChamp 2. Did we just get another PogChamp? Thanks, Size. That's funny, dude. That's funny. I'll check it out, man. Thank you. That's funny. I'll mark that. Thanks, dude. But anyways, yeah, that's basically what's going on with the Lord of the Rings universe. More notable stuff as of right now, right? So the new series on Amazon coming up. Gollum should be releasing sometime around probably the end of the year. And then we got a new game that got announced from the same people that devved, I guess it's Supergiant. I don't know why I was thinking Pirate something. Supergiant for Hades. And so that's what's basically coming up for the Lord of the Rings universe, right? We read about this yesterday. This is actually what a huge mistake on the part of EA. Am I surprised that EA did this? No, not even. But they're following through and they're letting people keep the game that got it for that price, and at least they're honoring that. And, what more can you say? Don't know how you feel about the upcoming Lord of the Rings show. I mean, do you? What's up, Happy Chef? How are you, buddy? Uh, you care to elaborate for me a little bit? Like, are you just a bit hesitant because this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. The reason I'm a bit skeptical of things like this right now is because, like what you've seen Disney do with Star Wars, right? The Star Wars universe seems absolutely polluted. Like just it's just non-stop Star Wars crap all the time. I don't feel like the quality is that good. I loved the original Star Wars movies. I loved them. I think one of the things that has really killed some of the Star Wars stuff for me, though, is it's really gravitated because Disney got a hold of it, especially. It's really gravitated more towards being like aimed at kids. Whereas, dude, you know what I would give to see a Star Wars movie come out that was really dark and graphic? That would suck me right back into Star Wars, you know? Um, but I just feel like there are a certain, very popular um, universes within, entertainment. Uh, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, things like that, where I think it's right to be a bit worried. What I've seen so far, just from like trailers and stuff, it looks like it's going to be fairly entertaining, and it's not like they're trying to redo anything. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No. Here's the thing. Um, one of the big things about I think this community as well is not yucking somebody else's yum, as it were, right? Like, who am I to tell you that you know what you enjoy as entertainment is something that you shouldn't enjoy as entertainment? It's fine for us to discuss why we might not, like, it. For instance, if I wasn't a fan of Star Trek, why I might find it to not be that entertaining to me, and why but as long as it's in a civil manner, right? But there's no reason why I should go, oh well, that sucks, and I can't believe that you watched it, or what. Same thing with games or anything else in life, But I've never really taken a dive into Star Trek. The only thing I've really watched with Star Trek was like the newer movies, which I thought were fairly entertaining. But I've never really, become a big fan of Star Trek. And that's fine. There are a lot of Trekkies out there, man. There are a lot of Trekkies. There have actually been an amount that have come into this channel because my icon resembles closely Star Trek, apparently. And I never really thought about it like that until it was brought up, and then I saw it, and I was like, yeah, kind of does. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's cool. I mean, everybody's, we're humans. We have differing preferences, and that's okay. That's cool. Um, so I don't know, Happy Chef. What is it about the upcoming Lord of the Rings show that you're about? You're kind of wishy washy on. What's going on? I mean, I think everybody feels kind of the same way about it, especially if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings. It's like they need to do a good job on it. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be good. If it's not good, that sucks for everybody, not just for that company, Not just for Amazon. I didn't see much there in that page, man, that I really wanted to dive into. All right, Size. All right, man. Yo, it's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I know you probably need to go rest, man. So go get your rest, dude. Uh, Maybe we'll see you later, okay? Yeah. Thanks, man. Take it easy, buddy. Oh, you're gonna go stream. Okay, cool. We've already talked about the Avatar video game title and release date. Um, um, Wheel of Time makes me nervous about Lord of the Rings. Okay. Good production value, decent acting, my kind of genre. Just couldn't get into it. Maybe the writing, I don't know. Okay. Okay. Right on. Well, hopefully it'll be something that appeals to you, you know? And again, I mean, the things that I've seen from it so far look like it should be entertaining. And I hope so. I hope so. Um, here's the thing. Uh, Amazon has the rights to the loader stuff now. Yeah. And so this is just the first in many of Lord of the Rings things to come, right? For Amazon. They are the ones that got the I'm not mistaken, correct? I cannot type. I thought they got the oh, okay, okay. That's what it is then. Sorry. Um, Game. I believe that before anyone gives a review on anything, be it video games, music, well, entertainment in general, right? The phrase, in my opinion, should be stated first and foremost. Uh, yeah, I mean that's kind of the sentiment we try to, I try to get across to people, yeah, right in the channel all the time. Yeah, that's definitely, yeah, I think that's a very good way that to go about it for sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, dude, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's what I try to express quite often is it's just natural. It's natural for us to have different preferences and um, you know again, I mean we've talked about it a lot because I try to always give my impression of my experience of playing a game whenever I play through it. That's kind of the way I feel my job is right now, right? But I've expressed that sentiment quite often. It's like, just because this is my experience in a game doesn't mean it's going to be everybody's experience in a game, right? And all I can do is try to convey to the best of my ability what I find as the pros and cons. And I definitely feel like that's the best way anybody can go about it, is to say, in my opinion, this is what that experience was for me. And that's why I try to also, I try to tell people, it's like, if it looks interesting, if it looks fun, the only way you're going to know whether you are going to enjoy that content, that piece of entertainment, is to try it yourself, right? So, ultimately, you're going to have to take a dive into it to find out whether it's something that you're going to be entertained by, engaged in, or not. I don't think that it's bad to rely on reviews to an extent, especially when you have a lot of reviews from people that have played a game for a good amount of time, and you can get a pretty good idea of what the game has to offer. But that still doesn't mean that's exactly what you're going to experience, right? Happy. No, I have not watched Wheel of Time, man. No. Nope. I haven't seen it. What? I mean, it was just kind of meh for you? So it looks like, let's look this up. Well, Embracer Group, there's some news for us this morning. Embracer Group acquires the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit via Middle Earth Enterprises. That's crazy. Let's actually go with Kotaku on that. Well, we just ran across some new news. That's nuts. It looks like the only rights that Amazon has right now is based off of anything revolving around The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings uh, specifically. So they can like tie timelines into that. It doesn't need to be like remakes. They can tie timelines in, but they can't venture too far off, I don't think. So it looks like that's what they have. But, well, there's our first article for the day. That's crazy. Oh, dude, it was right here, too. Look at that. Embracer Group makes more acquisitions. Okay, wild. 3D gaming? The next big thing for consoles? Okay. We kind of already talked about this. New video game teased. Yeah, we talked about that already. I'm not going to dive into that. Oh, trailers to the Wheel of Time look similar to the Lord of the Rings series. Oh, okay, so you didn't actually watch. Gotcha. Yeah, me either, man. Yeah, yeah. Half Wish? What's Half Wish? Announces beta early access registration on PC. Let's see what that is. Again, look, quite often I'm going to avoid. We get so many articles right now. Like the when we look up news, our results are like plagued, man, by what seems to be a lot of, and it's not normally from a site like NME, but we kind of get overrun by articles that seem like they're promoting the some new game based on crypto, Web3, NFT, blockchain crap, and I'm just not diving into it anymore. It just seems like there's always a new game coming out that's being promoted in that space. I'm not a fan of it anyway in the first place, and it just seems like a bunch of promotional stuff that I'm not interested in diving into. But this is Untamed Isles crypto game put on hiatus and will not refund money, it looks like. So let's see. I mean, this sounds like another scam has happened in regards to this kind of, software being developed. So we'll take a look at that. I mean, this is one of the big reasons why I hate seeing these games being developed all the time, is because quite often they seem like a very scummy thing, you know? Yeah, and happy. Man, I like all kinds of genres, man. I'm into like drama. I love thrillers. Horror shows are my favorite, dude. I love horror flicks. Horror shows and thriller shows are my favorites. But I love comedies, dude. I can get into anything. I like all kinds of shows, man. We talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to dive into. Yesterday we got information on basically titles coming to PS Plus, titles coming to Game Pass, and titles leaving Game Pass. So if you're interested in that content, go check out yesterday's news segment on YouTube. I'm not going to rehash it today, but it's on yesterday's segment, okay? Which would be August 17th, all right? Oh, dude, what a classic movie, man. I love that movie. Oh, wait, that on, was that, okay, so, have you seen, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse? Shaun of the Dead, dude, is such a good flick. It is so flippin' funny, man. I love that movie. You know what I watched here recently that I hadn't watched in a long time was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's a good movie, too. And I had not watched that in a very long time. WB limiting the production of Mortal Kombat gaming. What? Let's see what's going on there. Let's go ahead and pivot real quick, guys. Let's see what we got. I can't type, so I need a lot more coffee. This is another thing. Rewatching a lot of Simon Pegg. Yeah, Simon's funny, dude. Yeah, yeah. Um, you can't put any stock into this kind of stuff right now. I mean, you can't even put any stock hardly into any kind of game that gets announced to be in development and gives a definitive release date right now. You can't even put any stock into that hardly at all. It doesn't matter what developer it's from, because um, it seems like a safer bet currently in the industry to just assume that any game that gets announced. Yo, Mamzelle, what's up, my friend? How are you? Any game that gets announced that has a definitive release date will get delayed. That's what I would just, I would just advise most people to run along those lines of assumptions in the industry right now. Is it? Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, dude. I think you're right. I think you're right. Is it? I'm trying to picture it. I'm trying to picture him right now. No? Yes? I can't tell you for sure, dude. I'm terrible. No, I don't think so, dude. No, I don't think so. Uh, yeah, it is, isn't it? It is, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I think you're right, dude. I think it is him. Yeah, yeah. God, he looks so much different in The Hobbit, though, dude. He looks so much different in The Hobbit. That's so wild. Good night. Yeah, good call, dude. Good call. uh, the answer's 42. Right, right. So, again, I mean, you start trying to talk about the biggest games set to release in 2023. Some of the biggest games that were set to release in 2022 are now the biggest games set to release in 2023. You know what I mean? So, like, how much stock can you actually put into an article like this? I would say just don't. Yeah, just, I don't know. Ooh, Devea! Devea with the raid. Check that noise out. I'm gonna have to look at changing that sound effect up.
Devek is raiding with 4 viewers.
Devea, what's up, my friend? Thank you. Thank you. Yo, Naruto! What's up, buddy? How are you, man? Everybody, if you're not familiar with Devea, very cool individual, friendo of the stream, content creator. Show some of that community love and throw Devea a follow, please, if you wouldn't mind. Chilling, doing video gaming news, and then we're going to be pushing the end of base game of Witcher 3, man. Yeah, we got video gaming news. We're gonna going through and picking our articles right now. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the industry for today, and then we're gonna hop into our gaming stuff, man. Play some Witcher 3, yeah. But I'm doing good, man. Chilling as well, chilling. About to go shopping. Word, cool. Be safe. Thanks for the raid. It's good to see you. Hope everybody's well. We talked about this yesterday as well. New Dune game in the works. Embracer's making moves, dude. Embracer's making big moves right now. We've got an article up about them already, but Embracer's making big moves. If you guys don't remember, Embracer Group's the one that bought or is in the process of acquiring all the North American development studios from Square Enix, and is also in that acquisition is getting the IPs for Thief, Deus Ex, and Tomb Raider. Oh, you guys got engaged? Woo! Congratulations. Wowee. Congrats, guys. Nice. That's big news. Awesome, awesome. Congratulations. Okay, here's some more images from the new Fallout TV show that's being made. We'll take a look at that. Yep, we've got that up already. Gotham Knights receives exciting release update. This is another game that got delayed, but we'll see what they've got. Buying some jeans and new cowgirl boots. You can go treat yourself, huh? All right, cool. Cool. That's awesome. You should go get one of those 10-gallon hats. Go get a nice 10-gallon hat. Yeah. The first Fable, yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure I still own it on original Xbox. It's just packed up in storage, man. Yep. So I still have my original Xbox, but the optical drive in it is kaput. So I've got to fix it. But yeah, I've still got my original Xbox, and I think Fable is one of the games I have. I've got SSX Tricky. Dude, that was my jam. SSX Tricky. What else do I have on that? I've got like some Mortal Kombat. I've got some different titles. Yeah, they're all boxed up though right now. That's good, DeVay. It's good. Yeah, go treat yourself. But be safe. Be safe. Thank you again for the raid. I appreciate it. It's good to see you, my friend. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed reveals release date. Is this the one that's got VR in it too? I think they're saying they're gonna have VR in this Ghostbusters game. Let's take a look at that. Good, good, good. That's good to hear, Samar. That's good to hear. Astrobot Studios' next game is its biggest to date. Let's see what's going on there. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Basically, EA, if you didn't catch this yesterday in our news segment or you haven't heard about this, EA basically sold their special edition of FIFA 23 in India online for the equivalent of roughly 6 cents in US dollars. And they will not tell everybody how many copies of it got sold for that price, but they're honoring it and letting people keep the copies. So that's a huge mistake on their part. All right, we'll go one more page, see if there's anything else. We've talked a lot over the past couple of days in the news segment about the PlayStation PC stuff. They are really, really progressing through their incorporation of PlayStation PC, which is great, especially for people like me, anybody else in the world that is a PC gamer that has really felt like the only reason why we would want to buy a PlayStation is just for those proprietary games, you know? Whereas Xbox has always done a really good job of giving us their games. Day one. Happy Chef. Yeah. So basically, yeah, that's what happened, right? That's what happened. It came out yesterday that in India, they had sold the game, not the base edition, like the actual special edition of the game for 6 cents. I can't remember how many Indian rupees it was, but it was the equivalent of 6 cents in US dollars. And they will not tell or release the information on how many people got to buy it for that price before it was fixed online. So pretty wild, pretty wild. We'll PlayStation's definitely moving into the PC market heavily, and that's good. That's good. Now, again, for me, progression from them on that front is fantastic. I need day one releases, man. Give me those day one PlayStation proprietary titles on PC. I don't think I will see it anytime in the near future, but I would love it. We saw this yesterday too. Basically, the Final Fantasy 16 director and is, kind of coming out and saying that the series is having a hard time staying current. And we'll see. I think there's a little bit of maybe some conflict of where Square Enix is trying to head as a business and where the director of the Final Fantasy series, some of the Final Fantasy series games, is where they are in the mindset of because it's no secret Square Enix is pivoting very hard into NFT, blockchaining, that kind of stuff, which kind of breaks my heart. And from what the director of Final Fantasy 14 and 16 says, they are not about that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. See what happens. We already have news about this pulled up, so we'll see. Untamed Isles, yeah. No refunds. Game's dead. No refunds. This is, and I'm going to be a broken record when it comes to reading this article, but this is why I've been telling everybody to be very, very careful if you're thinking about diving into Web3, crypto economy-based titles, having to do with blockchain, NFTs, stuff like that. It's a very, very scummy situation for the most part. And you're liable to lose a chunk of investment if you dive into that genre of game. I don't even like calling it a game of software, So I'll talk more about it once we get to that article that we have pulled up. All right, cool. Let's stick with this. Again, I still have this article up from earlier in the week. You can win yourself, and look, I'm not necessarily promoting. I think they're giving this away actually through comicbook.com, right? Yeah. Paramount Consumer Products in partnership with comicbook.com is giving away this Ninja Turtle Xbox. Okay? It's pretty cool. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's pretty cool. It literally looks like a comic, Yeah, what's up, Wick? Cowabunga, dude. So I've just kept it up. That way, if you guys want to try to enter the sweepstakes, it's pretty. All you got to do is hop on your Twitter and retweet with commenting hashtag Turtle Power Sweepstakes, something like that. You can read about it in here, but I don't know. Try to win yourself a cool custom Xbox there. I don't know. Why not, right? New Fallout TV show images tease vault location. Newly leaked images associated with Amazon's upcoming Fallout TV series have teased a location that should look quite familiar to those who have played the video game series. Now, we've already seen some images in our previous news segment that got leaked of why can't I think of what the grocery stores are called in the game? Which was giving everybody the impression that it was more based around the Fallout 3 originally, but then some other stuff came out that looked like maybe, with we saw some images after that were the creation of the power armor that looked more like power armor in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. So I don't think anybody really knows at this point if it's going to be based more from closer towards like Fallout 3 or all the way, closer towards 4 and 76 or something like that. In virtually every game in the Fallout franchise, locales known as vaults are quite prominent. These areas are essentially shelters that are meant to protect people from the nuclear fallout that has radiated the world. Perhaps unsurprisingly, it now looks like Prime Video's Fallout show will contain vaults in quite a prominent manner. Based on new pictures that have emerged from Bethesda, at Bethesda Arabic on Twitter, a fully realized set that is modeled after a vault has now been constructed. Sorry guys, I need to take a drink. The vault itself is said to be called Shelter 33. And will be a new location that hasn't been seen previously in various Fallout games. In a general sense, this shelter looks incredibly similar to what has been seen in other Fallout titles, which shows that those working on the series are really trying to stay true to the source material. You can get a look at some of the set images in the tweet below. Yeah, check this out. They've got all kinds of stuff. What are they called? Super Duper Marts? Is that what they were called? Super Duper Marts in Fallout? Dude, it's been so long. This is basically the set, right? Where's that vault at? Dude, where'd that go? Oh, right. Check this out. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Oh, yeah. Yo, it's random emote time, guys. Looking for that Kevin Turtle emote. Pow! Gabs, what's up, my friend? How are you? Nice. Nice. Right in time for rando mode. Cool, man. Well, there's some images. I guess, well, I'll give you guys this link if you want to take a look at some more of those images from the Fallout show that have been leaked. Nice, Happy Chef. Nice, dude. Party time, dude. Likely the most encouraging thing about these set photos is that it shows that Fallout is going to take place in a number of practical environments in a time where CGI has been predominantly used in a number of shows and films. Looks like Fallout is going to instead create a number of physical sets for filming purposes. When looking at these new set photos combined with previous images that leaked last month, looks like quite a bit of money is being poured into the creation of this Fallout TV show. At the time of this writing, Amazon has still said very little about Fallout and the story that it will tell. While it's known that the show is now filming, a release window for the series hasn't been given just yet. All we know that with certainty is that Fallout will feature Walton Goggins, Ella Purnell, Kyle McLaughlin, and Aaron Moughton as part of its cast. Yeah, we keep getting some leaks about the sets they're making and everything, which look really cool. So hopefully that'll be good. Can't hear anything. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Cool, buddy. All right, man. All right, Gabs. I know you can't hear me. All right, buddy. DC's Gotham Knights receives exciting release update. Anticipation surrounding WB Games Montreal's open-world superhero game Gotham Knights has been sky high, mainly due to inclusion of several famous heroes from the Batman mythos. The upcoming title will feature 4 playable characters, including Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl, and Robin. The story will revolve around the 4 heroes protecting Gotham after the untimely death of the Dark Knight. Gotham Knights executive producer Matt Fleur-Marty previously revealed that the game's combat system will be much more enhanced than the Arkham games, saying that it will focus on co-op brawling. Not only that, but its open-world map will also allow players to explore the infamous Arkham Asylum, and it has been confirmed that this will be a new version that could surprise gamers everywhere. Now, in anticipation of its release, the game has received an exciting update. Warner Bros. Officially announced that Gotham Knights has officially gone gold. All right, so here it is. It looks like it's ready to be boxed up. if you're not familiar with what Gone Gold means, right? Gotham Knights show looks cool too. I haven't even really taken a look at that. Yeah. But it's looking appealing to you, yeah? Meaning the game is finished and ready to go into production to be shipped. The team expressed its excitement on social media ahead of its release this October. This milestone also means the upcoming DC video game won't be delayed from its current release date. Right. Unless something very drastic happens, okay? It could, but this is something that literally never happens. If a game goes gold, that means it is basically set in stone that it is going to release. It would have to be something very, very drastic to derail the game from releasing on the date after it's gone gold. Will it receive a sequel? Look, I'm not going to dive into that. Quite often, what is going to determine whether a game receives a sequel is how successful it is whenever the original, the prior game releases, and how well it does over the course of time. What is there an outcry from the community and the fans of the original game for another entry into the series? And if you're talking about a sequel, you're talking about years down the line. So, again, I've gotten to the point with news where I don't like diving into like speculation and things like that, because that's really what that is. You can't put any kind of substance into that. Time will tell whether a sequel will come. A lot of it is based on what I just talked about. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed reveals release date, okay? The release date for Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed has now been officially announced. First announced earlier this year, Spirits Unleashed is a new Ghostbusters video game from studio IllFonic that will allow players to take on one another as an asymmetrical multiplayer fashion. Excuse me. While there's still a lot of Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed we haven't seen, we won't have to wait much longer for the title to hit store shelves. Following a leak on Amazon today, IllFonic confirmed that Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed is set to launch just in time for Halloween on October 18th. Appropriate. It will be coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and One, and PC via the Epic Game Store when it does release in the coming months. Additionally, pre-orders for Spirits Unleashed will be going live tomorrow. That's today. They go live today. The announcement of this launch date for Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed happened to arrive a bit earlier than IllFonic planned. Previously, the studio revealed that it would be holding a live stream on Twitch today, where it would unveil more information about the game. At this time, it seems as though the studio had a formal reveal plan for the release date of Spirits Unleashed. Amazon happened to beat the studio to the punch, though, which led to IllFonic confirming that this date seen on the retail site was accurate. Oh, they're probably a little bit upset about that. So here is the description of the game. Form a team with up to 3 other Ghostbusters to track down ghosts haunting a number of locales, sniff out paranormal activity with the PKE meter, and charge it to unleash a short-range pulse, disabling ghost movement. Unveil hidden rifts acting as the ghost spawn points and teleportation portals, and destroy them. Use the powerful particle throwers to capture the ghost, deploy a trap, and wrangle them into it before they escape. Meanwhile, the ghost works alone, roaming around stages like the museum, an abandoned prison, and other spooky locations, including a new one to be revealed at Gamescom. Frighten civilians to scare them away, possess objects to raise the overall global haunt percentage, to regain ghost power, or just cause mass hysteria. Use slime to temporarily stun Ghostbusters, move the rifts to keep them guessing, summon minions to make an escape, and show the Ghostbusters they should be afraid of this ghost. Explore the firehouse, a familiar home base filled with new and recognizable characters alike, before departing on a mission with any combo of friends, random matchmaking, and or AI bots online or offline in solo mode. Personalize the Ghostbusters equipment at the workbench and test out the changes with some target practice in the neighboring alley. Visit Ray's Occult Books to enter the spectral realm and customize the ghost loadout. skin, and various other worldly options. Sounds like, they're really taking the Ghostbusters game into more of that, that multiplayer space that we see a lot of other games kind of fill. Whether it be like a Dead by Daylight situation where it's like 4v1, or the Evil Dead series that just came out. It's kind of the same situation. You've got all the survivors against one of the monsters or what have you. It's kind of the same situation, right? It's going to be, you got your 4 Ghostbusters, you've got one player that's going to be the ghost or what have you. But it sounds like it could work. We'll see. Astrobot Studios' next game is its biggest to date. Astrobot Studio team, Asobi, showcased the PS5's features and capabilities in the launch title, Astro's Playroom. This is the game that actually came with the PS5, correct? Astro's Playroom. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering correctly. The development team has its sights set on creating its biggest title yet, while remaining faithful to the PlayStation's roots in gaming, the Japanese market. And everybody was like really kind of blown away at how much fun this little title was that came with the PS5. I didn't get to play it, but apparently it was a pretty cool little free game that came with the console. Team Asobi's Astrobot was developed solely for play with PlayStation VR. I think Gamer was just talking about how he played this and enjoyed it, if I'm not mistaken. Players would take control of Astro for the first time in a 3D platforming adventure game. Following the success of Astrobot, Astro became a mascot-like figure for the PlayStation, and the development of Astro's Playroom began for PS5. Astro's Playroom was created to highlight features of the PS5 DualSense controller, such as haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and gyro aiming. Following the closure of Sony's Japan studio in 2021, Team Asobi became its own company and began expanding under the PlayStation Studios umbrella. Team Asobi creative and studio director Nicolas Doucet reveals the studio's next game is its biggest project yet, according to an interview at gamesindustry.biz. The studio has grown from roughly 35 employees to more than 60 currently, and Doucet expects Team Asobi to expand to nearly 100 employees in the future. Production for the new game is ongoing, and Doucet wants to have another research and development group explore potential new projects within Team Asobi. R&D efforts are important for Team Asobi as the studio considers new gameplay ideas to implement. Team Asobi wants to succeed by staying true to its values in development and delivering a worthwhile gaming experience for PlayStation. Studio's expansion should help greatly with the development of a large project made for PS5. Asobi's focus on refining game controls will lead to experiences that take full advantage of the PS5's DualSense controller. PlayStation should continue to invest in its roots in Japanese game development while developing new games catered at a worldwide audience. Team Asobi could create one of the most successful titles on PS5. Speculation. Currently, Astro's Playroom for PS5 remains Team Asobi's only game on the latest generation of hardware. They definitely did develop the game to kind of show off the PS5's new features, right? The features of the new console. And the haptic feedback of the controllers, things like that. One of the things that comes to mind right now with reading this is the fact that we just saw where Sony has kind of put a patent in to potentially incorporate some new feedback kind of mechanism in their controllers to where the joysticks will become more resistant in certain kinds of games, right? Where if maybe you're trying to like push a brick or something like that, or push like a big object or something, the joystick becomes hard to press forward, or some kind of situation like that. So who knows? Maybe they're trying to help develop a game that could showcase that kind of new development for that kind of technology for the new controllers PlayStation is trying to develop. Who knows? 3D gaming, the next big thing for consoles and online casinos. Video games have been around much longer than when the first. This is all. I don't really want to dive into the online casino thing, man. This is about video games. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're interested in reading this, I'll let you read it, but I'm not going to dive into that. It's not necessarily that I'm even like against, the whole gambling. It's a very controversial topic, right? It's a very hot topic right now, especially in regards to like streaming and Twitch and things like that. There are a lot of people that think that it shouldn't be something that Twitch allows. I think the big thing around gambling, whether it be legit like playing slots, video slots online, and streaming that, or even just loot boxes, what have you. I think the biggest thing is education. Educating on people on how to be responsible with their money, taking care of yourself first and foremost, and the fact that gambling can be an addiction, and it can result in people kind of putting themselves in some dire situations, just like with any other addiction in life. And I think that that's the big thing is protecting young people from the good night, dude. Give me a break. The gambling mechanisms, especially in games. I think that's a big thing is keeping children away from that kind of stuff until they're more mature to where they can kind of understand the risks of it. And but ultimately, as an adult, where you spend your money is your choice. What you're going to spend your money on is your choice. But there's no denying the fact that gambling is an addiction. And I think a big part of what needs to be done is for there to be a lot of education, places for support. So if people realize they've got a problem, they can reach out and get that kind of help if they want it and need it. And I think it's very important for anybody that is planning on, and I think especially for very influential streamers, content creators, to be very upfront and open about the fact that they have a lot of capital, usually, to invest in these ventures of, gambling. And that makes a big difference in setting them apart from normal people. Most people live a different kind of life monetarily, and so it's I think it's very appropriate and it content creators that are going to be streaming gambling content need to be responsible in the fact of understanding how influential they can be on an audience and just trying to inform and educate the audience on the fact that if they lose how much ever money they end up losing or whatever, it's not going to affect them quite as much as it would somebody that isn't maybe quite as wealthy, right? So, I don't know. I think that's the gist of it. But again, this new segment isn't necessarily about gambling. It's about video games. And so that's why I wanted to stay away from that article. but it's there if you guys want to read it. Half-Wish announces beta early access registration on PC. What is this? I've never even heard of this. Half-Wish. Have you guys heard of this? Half-Wish, a brand new PvP roguelike card game, has opened its early access beta testing registration on PC in Singapore. Half-Wish announces the upcoming launch of its player versus player roguelike game, which is set to be released by Q1 2023. The team ended its 2-day open challenge with a $10,000 cash prize at the Mind Cafe in Singapore with approximately 100 players across both days. The paper tournament was organized as part of a series of card game activations at various locations in Singapore throughout this year to showcase the Half-Wish gameplay. Half-Wish is a player versus player roguelike game. In the roguelike genre, players start a fresh playthrough in each match and get progressively stronger as the game progresses. Half-Wish players are tested on their ability to bluff, manage risk, and to think on their feet as they duel another player in a battle through a uniquely randomly generated adventure map card every round. On the PC client version down the line, players will be able also be able to collect heroes to unlock new playstyles, hunt for loot to trade on the Half-Wish marketplace, and to hoard resources to build up their private realm. Half-Wish Games creator and founder Lysander said, "There's a running joke in the card game circles about the team Wizard Poker, and that's where we actually got the inspiration from. We kept the idea of a neutral card river that affects both players, but took away the gambling and replaced it with fantasy themes like magic, bards, and wandering monsters. The goal is to create a game accessible to both social and competitive players, a household game that's easy to pick up yet allows room for skilled expression to help the competitive players to stand out. The team hopes to be able to bridge these two sectors with an esports scene that rewards both professional and casual players. Together with a story-centered universe, players will have plenty to look forward to every season. For more info and registration for early beta access, please visit Play Half-Wish and follow them on socials for more info." Huh. Interesting. This would probably pique the interest of our buddy Size. Size plays a lot of card games. Interesting. If you guys are wanting to dive into a bit of that, there you go. Untamed Isles. Here's that crypto article, okay? Untamed Isles crypto game put on hiatus and will not refund Kickstarter backers. We ran out of financial resources. Let me be very clear. Kickstarter, this is not just an issue that happens with like a crypto-based game or anything either, okay? There are a lot of games that tend to get funded on the front end through things like Kickstarter or what have you. Star Citizen, right? We've talked about Star Citizen a lot in the news segment. That game has received an absolutely absurd amount of upfront money. It was supposed to be a full release in 2014 or 2015? And here we are 7, 8 years later, and the game only has modules that you can play. It's kind of insane. So, it can happen anywhere. It can happen to any game. It doesn't just have to be some crypto-based game or anything. Crypto-based Kickstarter campaign Untamed Isles has been put on hiatus and won't be issuing refunds for initial backers. The developer has cited the recent crypto crash as the main reason, but hopes that players will see more from the game someday. Speaking in a blog post on the Untamed Isles Kickstarter page, CEO of Fat Loop Studios, Josh Grant, explained the game would be on pause, citing the crypto crash and a lack of financial resources. The blog post failed to mention what would come of the money put in by initial backers. A fact on the game's website does provide some clarification. Quote, "Due to our cash reserves being empty, we are not in a position to refund our initial back." Of course they're going to say their cash reserves are empty. Truly sorry about this and wish this scenario was different. Fortunately, it seems as though there will be no refunds available for initial backers. We've reached out to Fat Loot Studios for comment. Thankfully, pre-orders will be refunded, with the studio confirming that it will be contacting customers via the email address used at purchase. Fat Loot Studio followed up with the initial news yesterday, hoping to provide some additional context. In a post, the studio clarifies that it did not invest any funds into crypto. All funds raised through crowdfunding and through traditional investment were spent by the studio developing the game. According to the studio, it had several investors pool funding due to the game's association with crypto and Web3 integrated games. Untamed Isles found initial success in 2021, collecting $500,000 in backing. Describes itself as being game-first, crypto-second, and combines monster taming and turn-based RPG mechanics with a player-driven auction house model. It's this player trading aspect where the crypto integration comes in. With the game having partnered with Direwolf, Fat Loot tokens, a cryptocurrency could also be purchased and used in-game. These will also be refunded. It's worth noting that while the crypto crash cited by Fat Loot Studios occurred back in May this year, Studios still made Untamed Isles available for pre-order just 10 days before the pausing of development. There you go. I mean, to be fair, if anybody that gets into the situation of backing a game, I mean, that's a you have to go into that under the assumption that it might not pan out. So that's not necessarily even a situation where a game was built and fully functioning on crypto economy, and it just got scummed out, or they got hacked, the game died, anything like that. Like we saw with Axie Infinity, it's not a situation like that. It happens, right? You have to be prepared for the fact that if you back a game that isn't, that is basically just a concept, and the devs are like, hey, we need money. This is what we're planning on trying to create, but we need money to get it created. Will you help? It might not come to fruition, and you just have to be prepared for that. WB limiting the production of Mortal Kombat gaming merchandise. The video interview with Diamond Select Toys dive into the particulars. Let me backtrack a second. Does it feel good? No. Now, I'll say maybe it could be a bit different. I think maybe these, was there a guarantee or anything up front? Did this development team go, if we reach this amount of backing, we guarantee this game will release, right? We guarantee all of this or your money back. But that's not something that normally happens, right? The Mortal Kombat video game franchise has undoubtedly shaped the one-on-one fighting genre. The series resulted from an initial failure, which led to an offshoot of a science fantasy-themed fighting game. Mortal Kombat was among the first actual gore-based games that changed the gaming industry forever. Absolutely. The controversy surrounding the killing of characters led to the creation of the critically acclaimed Entertainment Software Rating Board, a video game rating system. Dude, I remember just the entertainment industry being absolutely riled up about Mortal Kombat. All the kids wanted to play it. All the parents were like, what in that? Like, what is this? Like... The series has a reputation for high levels of graphic violence, mainly due to the addition of fatalities. The amalgamation of gruesome, gory fights and an extensive roster of characters adds to the experience. After Midway's bankruptcy, Warner Brothers obtained the Mortal Kombat development team and designated it as NetherRealm Studios. The series has metamorphosed to the fighting genre by adapting to standards never reached before. Mortal Kombat is set in an alternate reality consisting of various realms. The franchise has spawned very successful sequels and inspired other entertainment media to dominate the market. The franchise now extends beyond just video games and is widely beloved. MK franchise inspired movies, card games, animated TV series, merchandise, and collectibles, among many others. Unfortunately, the franchise might be moving in the wrong direction. Warner Brothers allegedly no longer licenses Mortal Kombat merchandise and collectibles. As first reported by Top Tier List, Diamond Select Toys appeared in a YouTube video interview to discuss the particulars of the situation. If you're unfamiliar, Diamond Select Toys is behind creating excellent merchandise for many big franchises, including MK. MK merchandise has played a significant in promoting the franchise and appeals to the fans. Regardless, things might be looking dark for Mortal Kombat merch collectors. The entire interview delivers an in-depth understanding of the approach behind Mortal Kombat collectibles. However, some of the crucial quotations elaborate on how Warner Bros. Is not licensing Mortal Kombat video game merchandise rights. Quote, we started doing MK because we had a relationship with Warner Bros. And Warner Bros. Was, at the time, licensing out Mortal Kombat for the product. He further states that they are toiling on good terms on other tasks, specifically the DC. The notion has taken a dark turn for Mortal Kombat. Not a lot can be done about it. We're definitely looking at how we can move forward with the MK line. There have been some changes to how it's licensed, but we're going to try to keep moving forward and make more pieces. Diamond Select Toys admits the merchandise is an essential element of a franchise. Given the current circumstances, he is still hoping to find a way to move forward with Mortal Kombat. He continues, aside from the new no games mandate, where we haven't really even pitched them on, obviously, they said we can do stuff from the movie, but we haven't pitched them on certain characters as far as the game goes. They can still create movie character merchandise, but certain characters are still unclear, as it is strictly no games mandate. Weird. Furthermore states, it's unfortunate the situation has changed so much because it would be great to continue to do different characters from different iterations of the game. We'll have to see how this all works out. The possibility of going back to the game licensor still exists, but we have to see how it goes finishing out the contract with Warner Brothers. The lack of licensing can highly affect the production of collectibles and merchandise for Mortal Kombat video games. There's a bleak possibility that Warner Brothers is unable to deliver these licenses anymore, which is only possible if gaming rights are owned by someone else. Warner Brothers also might be looking to concentrate more on the movie side, probably, the Mortal Kombat cinematic universe to nurture it further, however, which does not seem viable for the long term. The latest movie wasn't even that great from what I understand. I didn't watch it because what I heard was that it was kind of subpar, and I was like, I probably won't take a look at it then. That was a large consensus that I was gathering, was that it was not very good. All right, guys, here we go. Last article I have for the day for our video gaming news segment, okay? So if you have anything that I might not be aware of, we haven't touched on today or in our previous news segments that could be pertinent to some stuff that might be happening within the video gaming news or video gaming industry, then let me know in chat and I'll address it before we move on to our Witcher 3 gameplay, okay? Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit rights bought by video game super publisher. We're talking about Embracer Group, right? It's the first time since 1976 the rights have changed hands like this. Embracer Group, who are slowly buying any and every video game publisher and studio on the market, just announced they have purchased Middle-earth Enterprises, the company that owns the big and small screen rights to most of J.R.R. Tolkien's most important works, including Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Some background. Please bear with me, this gets complicated. Middle-earth Enterprises used to be a division of the Saul Zaentz Company, a Hollywood production studio that in 1976 managed to pick up the rights to pretty much everything to do with Tolkien, except the publication of the books themselves. Those rights were used to make the 1978 animated feature, and ever since have only been licensed out to other companies, an operation overseen by Middle-earth Enterprises, never fully sold. That means everything from Peter Jackson's films to EA video games were only expensively licensing the Lord of the Rings rights. Amazon's upcoming TV series, meanwhile, is a whole other story. Final ownership still lay with the Saul Zaentz Company and covered a vast intellectual property catalog and worldwide rights to motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, and stage productions relating to the iconic fantasy literary works, The Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Or it did until now. Right, I thought they were auctioning this off, right? The Saul Zaentz Company floated the sale of their rights earlier this year for an eye-popping $2 billion. While Embracer's purchase price wasn't disclosed in their announcement, you'd assume the price they paid would be somewhere in that ballpark. As the announcement says, the purchase covers pretty much everything you'd associate with Lord of the Rings beyond the publishing of the books themselves, whose rights are held by HarperCollins, including key upcoming works set in Middle-earth, in which Middle-earth Enterprises has financial interest, include the much-heralded Amazon series The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which will premiere on September 2nd, set thousands of years before The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, the animated movie The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, set for release in 2024, and the mobile game The Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. Sorry, guys. Note that by purchasing Middle-earth Enterprises itself, Embracer doesn't necessarily need to go cancel or reassign any existing Lord of the Rings rights agreements. Warner Brothers has held the motion picture license since the 1990s, for example. That's how Peter Jackson's trilogy was made, and the upcoming anime is clearly unaffected since it's specifically highlighted in Embracer's announcement. As for what Embracer might want to do with the license in the future, that's spelled out in the press release as well. Other opportunities include exploring additional movies based on iconic characters such as Gandalf, Aragorn, Gollum, Galadriel, Eowyn, and other characters from the literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien, and continue to provide new opportunities for fans to explore this fictive world through merchandising and other experiences. With Embracer owning both a ton of video game studios and also board game company Asmodee, who in turn own who in turn own Fantasy Flight, you can expect a ton of licensed games to follow suit as well. Note that Asmodee already owned the Lord of the Rings license for board games. Of course, it wouldn't be an Embracer announcement with news that alongside the Middle-earth Enterprise purchase, the company also bought a bunch of other stuff today, including physical copy specialists, limited run games, Tripwire Interactive, Killing Floor and Chivalry, Tuxedo Labs, Teardown, and in a bizarrely poetic move given the buyers in question, Japanese studio Tatsujin, their boss is Masahiro Yuji, a co-founder of Toplan. The developers of Zero Wing, the game that the All Your Base Belong to Us meme comes from. Oh, that's wild. Okay. Yo, Embracer has been making big moves. By the way, they got all of the stuff I talked about earlier in the news segment, everything that they got from Square Enix, they basically got for what is considered to be like pocket change. All in all, it was like $300 million. I mean, it's not completed yet, but $300 million, right? That's a lot of money. But they got like 4 North American development studios, and they got 3 very well-known, 2 very, very notable IPs from Square Enix in Deus Ex and Tomb Raider. That Embracer Group is making moves, man. It's kind of nuts. Well, there you go, guys. That's the news. That's the news. It's a good one. It's a good news segment. Always is, man. I enjoy it, and I appreciate all of you for being a part of it. We're going to move on to Witcher 3, day 35. We should be finishing up the main storyline today, okay? So, for the base game. Main story for the base game should be getting finished up today, and we'll be moving into the DLC. So, to everybody that's part of this news segment and who's always part of this community for making this the amazing place it is for myself and for everybody else to be a part of, thank you very much. If you're enjoying the content, consider coming and hanging out with us at 6 o'clock a.m. CST, where we start these video gaming news segments every single day, okay? And also, if you're catching this as a VOD on YouTube, consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me if you're enjoying content. And just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. We'll catch everybody tomorrow for August 19th edition of Video Gaming News, okay?